I've been looking for an auto feeder for my fish tank, and Hygger was nice enough to send me this one, so I could go ahead and show you how easy it is to set up and to use it, and so I could also show you all the little features that it has. First, we go ahead and put in the AA batteries, and if we look here on the side, this is just a dial, so you could set up how much food you want it to release. And at the top here, we have a button that just sets up 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, and 48 hours for feeding time. You can also use this button as a manual feeding, so you could just press it and it will feed the fish whenever you want it to. So going back to the dial on the side, it just opens and closes this little hatch right here, so you could go ahead and look and see what the level of food that you want to put on. And then, like I said, when you click it right here, it just does a manual open and shut of the main door. And if you press that button again, then you could go ahead and choose which hours you want it to auto feed your fish. And obviously the little light indicates what time do you want them to feed. Alright, and let's look at the bottom at full capacity, and this is how the hatchet opens. Something I noticed is that if you put it all the way to the lowest level, it will close this hatch, so like that you can skip a feeding if you wanted to. And now let's go ahead and watch the feeding from a different angle here. And of course it does come with a holder that attaches to your tank and to the feeder, and I do appreciate that it has two different ways of attaching this. That way this can facilitate you depending on your tank needs. And attaching the feeder to your tank is very easy. Just loosen this up and go ahead and attach it to your tank, and obviously tighten it right back up. It is important to know that with this feeder you can only do pellets or powder food. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these pellets that I have here, and it works wonderfully with it. I had to speed this up a little bit because the whole bag just fit in there. Another thing that I noticed was that if you don't need this whole plastic thing for the whole storage, you can just put the top directly onto the feeder itself for a nice tighter fit. Another thing that I noticed was that if you have the dial all the way down to the lowest setting, you can skip a feeding. So right now I pressed the button and nothing happened because the hatchet is closed. So like that, if you ever want to skip a feeding, you can. And now I went ahead and opened it a little bit, and now I can go ahead and feed my fish. And again, right there I just did a manual feeding, so I just pressed the button, and then after that I went ahead and set the timer to 12 hours from now. I honestly recommend this feeder. It's very simple, very nice, and it seems that it's gonna last.